But first, hundreds of people turned out to pay their respects to Bob Crow, the RMT union leader who died 2 weeks ago. Friends and colleagues lined the streets along the route of the funeral procession in East London. His coffin was carried in a horse-drawn carriage from his house. Our political correspondent Simon Harris went to speak to some of those who turned out to say goodbye.
To the sound of hooves and clapping, Bob Crow made his final journey in a horse-drawn hearse with unmistakable colours, the blue and white of Millwall Football Club. There were flowers spelling out the words Uncle and Dad, and in the shape of footballs and the RMT logo. Hundreds of trade unionists came to pay their respects outside the City of London crematorium in Manor Park.
He's one of the last bastions, I think, to represent the working class people.
Bob Crow was a really special person, a real fighter for his class.
He was one who stood by the principle of trade unionism and the labour movement.
We're forever indebted to him and for what he did with our union, and always fighting for better pay and conditions, and we just hope the fight goes on, and we're not here to mourn but to organise.
Bob Crow was undeniably a towering figure in union circles, arguably the best-known union leader in Britain, whose well-paid members had good reason to thank him. His militant tactics won him plenty of enemies, even within the labour movement. But it was his friends and supporters who ensured his funeral resembled a union rally. And after waiting on cold pavements, they surged forward to mob the hearse.
I think he'd have been tickled pink. The idea that all these people had come together way beyond the railway industry because they recognised in Bob somebody that was fighting for the working class, that was fighting against poverty and supported many other campaigns way beyond the normal remit of a union general secretary. I think he would have been tickled and amazed.
Bob Crow was also remembered on the tube with posters and station announcements calling for a minute's silence. Outside the crematorium, they stood quietly too. Simon Harris, ITV News, Manor Park.